Alright guys, so as we walk into the fish room here, it's in the morning, I just woke up. This is what I come into. That's water. That's my footprints on the carpet. This is water all over. I gotta figure out where this is coming from. Do you think it got punctured in the pool liner? I don't know. That's always been something that sits in the back of my mind. It's all wet back through here. But when we get back here in the back, no water. Come over here. Get over to the side here. There is no water. Now my next thought is to check all the sides of the liner to see if there's any water leaking down the side. None there. Also, these could be suspect, but all three of these seem dry, all down through here. So those are not leaking. I've checked all my plumbing, no leaks. I've checked the filter, no leaks in there. It's all dry back there. I got that all checked out. So what I'm thinking is either the bottom has gotten poked through somehow where I can't see it. Also wanted to come down here. This could be another spot for a leak. This is the drain valve, but that is dry as a bone. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Driving me nuts. Something I definitely don't want to wake up to in the morning, that's for sure. So this makes me feel better. The water line, there's 5 squares down, and that's where my water line has been. Well, guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. So that tells me there has been no water come out of the pool. So luckily, the pool didn't pop. Nothing punctured it, thankfully. I've had this pool up and running for years with big fish in it, never had any problems. So that was my first initial thought, that this is leaking. Now we got to inspect this guy. My 125, I've noticed that the water level is a little low. I can see water has come down here, and it's sitting here. There's no leaks on the front of it, and there's no leaks on the side of it. There's a lot of water sitting on this side. Okay, check this side. Dry as a bone on this side. So either the tank seals popped from up above, which I'll have to get in there and look at, or this canister's leaking all over the place. Let me get this checked out and I'll be right back with you guys. Well, I just got done checking the canister filter. Nothing seems to be leaking from the seals or the connections. I looked up inside the aquarium. That'd be a dead giveaway anywhere for wet wood. Nothing up above, only below. As of last night, I was up late. This wasn't here. Nothing was leaking, so this happened while I was sleeping, but luckily I caught this first thing in the morning. When I was coming out here to feed everybody, that's when I've noticed this. Now, I put a piece of tape up here to measure the water line to see if it's dropping anymore. I cannot find this leak anywhere, so we're going to start drying things up. I'm going to dry this up under here is where I found the most water, and we're going to see if any more water forms back behind here and try to pinpoint the problem. Now, when I did come out here, one of the fish, I think, knocked this down. It was coming, you can knock it down like this, and it was sticking out like that, but I don't know if that's enough little splattering to create this big mess in my fish room. That could have been it, I'm not sure. There's a few possibilities, but luckily it's not the pool pond. I don't think it's the aquarium. We shall see. I think it could have been this, I don't know. But until we start drying things up and getting this mess cleaned up, we're never going to know where it's coming from exactly. So hopefully I can get this figured out. But me and Lucas are going to get this dried up with a bunch of towels and wet vac it so we can save the carpet. And then we'll see what's going on with the aquarium. What's crazy is it hasn't leaked that much. I think the water line before this was about right here. So it's leaked just down a couple of inches. But man, look what it does to a floor. Lucas is stomping on the towels, getting it all soaked up. Luckily, it's only got to here. Hasn't got to the pool pond yet. It stops almost right at the pool pond. So the water didn't get underneath it. So we should be able to get this cleaned up pretty quick. It's been about 30 minutes since we last checked. Water line's still staying. But right now, I don't think the actual aquarium is leaking, which is an awesome thing. And with the water line not being down anymore, it's got to be something with that connector, canister. I got to get this figured out. We got a lot of it dried up with the towels. Still a little damp, so I'm going to get the rest with a shop vac. But at least it's not splashing anymore. Literally, you could walk on this beforehand and see water just pop up from the carpet and make a splash like a puddle. So at least we got that down. I'll tell you what, problems of a fish keeper. Who's with me? Let me know, guys, your experiences with any leaks, blowout, disasters that's happened in the aquarium hobby. Let me know. I'd like to see everybody else's experience because I know I'm not the only one. Crap happens, as I like to say. So much water that I've used all my personal towels. Now I'm using sweatshirts and it's still soaking it up. It's crazy wet down here, guys. Jeez. Well, guys, as you can see, I got more of my sweatshirts down here. My poor Ohio State sweatshirt, but I'm breaking out everything. But I wanted to show you this. I think this is what caused it. Like I said this morning when I came in, this was out like this, squirting out pretty good. And I think it was catching the edge up here and leaking over, because if you look back here behind the plastic trim, there's no water anywhere else but here. You see it when I squeeze on it? See that water pushing around in there, sloshing around? Look at that. I think that was the problem. Like I said, I dried this down here, checked the canister, no leaks. It's still staying, you know, dry down there from where I dried it. Nothing's puddling up. There's no water coming out from anywhere else on the tank. Everything's staying dry from what we soaked up. So I'm going to pin it on this thing. Now that I've seen this, see that my hand's got some moisture on it. So I think this is what caused it. So now we found out what happened. So now that my big fish can knock this down, lesson learned, we're going to pull that off. It's just a little piece that clips onto these Cascade filters. Learned from my experience, I just pull them off and let them shoot out like that. But I'm going to keep a close eye on the tank and we'll see what happens. Make sure that that is the only issue. It's been an hour since I put this tape on here, and look, water level's still the same. So I gotta think that it's over here and this is what caused it. Just very thankful that it wasn't the pond. The pond's still holding strong. I've never had any problems. And I have plenty of friends that keep big fish in these ponds that's never had any problems either. I know a lot of people ask down in the comments, aren't you afraid of it popping? Well, not yet. So I've had more problems with aquariums leaking than I have pool ponds leaking. I will tell you that from my experience. We got it all soaked up, so now you can't see the water in all my footprints anymore. That probably took us about an hour and a half to get this cleaned up. But the aquarium is still at the same water level. Alright guys, so now we're on the second round of towels. I had to put them in the dryer and dry them. You can tell the water that leaked out was quite a bit. Look at all the coverage that it's soaking up. Pretty crazy, but this is the second time we're drying this up and you can still see how wet these towels are. That is crazy what I had to wake up to this morning. Alright, so it's been about 3 hours. As you guys can tell, the water line's still with the tape, so there's been no more leaking. I can confirm that. So definitely has to be that piece there that caused the issue, because I will tell you, the carpet's more wet down here on this side than anywhere else. So luckily it was a quick fix. Luckily it wasn't the pond, because right now my 1,000 gallon's not ready. That would not be good. So luckily this is fine. The 1,000 gallon is almost ready for fish, so stay tuned on that, guys. We got everything dried up. I'm gonna run this fan for the rest of the day. Hopefully we got everything. But unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to tear down the 125 to be able to get underneath it, because I'm sure there's a lot of water that's still under there. I'll have to check and see. So I got a lot to keep me busy for probably the next day or so. But everything is a-okay, no fish lost. Fast forward 3.5 hours and I finally have everything cleaned up. I got my fan running down here. The 125 is not leaking at all anymore. It's still at the tape line that we'd put. But everything is doing good now. I can finally take a big breath of relief. This disaster could have been a whole lot worse too. This water level was getting to the point to where my heater was starting to get exposed, and that's a fully submersible heater, so that could have caused a lot of problems too. Could have shocked the fish, or any type of electrical problems could have occurred out of that as well. So very thankful that that's all we had to work with. I calculated how much water I lost out of the 125, and it was exactly 22.5 gallons. Pretty crazy. You wouldn't think 22.5 gallons would do that much to a floor, but it's a lot of water. 22 gallons of water was enough for me. Well, I hope you learned something from this. Definitely check your canister filters and see this little tiny plastic piece here is what caused all that water to go into my floor. Just something that simple. This all happened this morning. You guys are gonna get this tonight. But I just picked up the camera and brought you guys along with me to show you. So everything you saw in that video is just raw footage of what had happened. But luckily everything is okay. There's no more leaks. I'm glad this happened on my day off. God forbid if I wasn't home, it'd have drained a lot of this aquarium down, and I would hate to imagine what it would have done to my floor. So I'm very thankful that this happened on a day off. I'm very thankful that my fish are okay. Like I said, this could have been really bad. I got some big news coming up. Going up to the Ohio Fish Rescue tomorrow with one of my buddies, and we're picking up some pretty cool fish, so you won't want to miss out on that. So if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and ding that notification bell down below so you guys know exactly when I upload, so you can be some of the first to see it. Also, I told you that the 300 gallon is gone. Find out next video what happened to the 300 gallon and what's going to take its place. I got something epic planned. You don't want to miss that, but I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace.